Bam, we're live, and the guest is missing. What's up, guys? Sabrina, hey. Dakota, hey. Augustus, hello. Rambler, hey. Saber, and Kelly, what's up? Turd again. 12 coffees, hi. Caroline, hello. Sixto. So I tried to put the Trista video on Rumble this morning, and it had been a while since I streamed live to Rumble, but I just realized I got a notification from Rumble saying that people from Rumble can make comments, and the comments should pop up so that I can see them. That was the problem before. That's why we were. Remember when we got kicked off of YouTube for a week and we went to Rumble and I couldn't see anyone's comments, so I couldn't basically address anyone. Paulina, what's up? Janelle, what's up? One position, Janelle. That's not fair. Seema, hey. Trevor, hey. How are you? Angelo. Anyway, so Angelo, dang, I was watching the Trista video, but we'll watch after. Kenneth, good evening. So I wonder, so the Trista video didn't upload to Rumble. So I'm wondering if right now, if we are live on Rumble, does anyone know? Can anyone comment from Rumble? I'm curious what that looks like. Because eventually we will get kicked off of YouTube. So it's only a matter of time before someone doesn't like something I say. I'm going to be like, apples are good for you. You're toast. That is not WHO approved. I hope I can stay up later tonight. The guest today's been on the show before. His name is Josh Emmett. He kind of looks like this dude. Caveman move. I don't know where he is. We had sent him a email saying that we might change the date because I didn't have power. And he said, sounds good. Either day works for me. And then I sent him an email this morning. Let's see, what time? 8 hours ago at 8:56 a.m. It's only 8 hours ago. And I said, see you tonight. And then I just sent him the link. But I am guessing it's not live on Rumble. It's not live on Rumble. That is so weird. Well, thank you for checking, Michelle. Mason Mitchell. Yep, he bailing. Damn. He's been on before. I don't remember last time. I was looking into him a little bit more this time. Last time I did a shitload of research on him. This time I wanted to have him back on because he needs to fight. This guy needs to fight for the title. Oh, look, there he is. Shit. There he is. Look at that.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, dude?
How you doing? Sorry I got on a little later. I was trying to hop on the laptop. I have to do it through my phone on StreamYard. Is that right?
Or if you sorry, if you're on Chrome, you can use your laptop.
Oh, okay. It's okay. I set it up on my phone. If you can see me all right and hear me.
I see you great.
Okay, perfect.
I see you great. Look at that, Mason. You said he's bailing. He ain't bailing. He can come over to your house. Put your address up there. He's coming over, punch you in the face. Excited for Emmett. Hey, Emmett, I don't even remember talking to you about this last time you were on, but you owned a CrossFit gym? I didn't know that. Or if I did, I forgot.
Yeah. Let's see. We owned a CrossFit gym from 2010 to 2017 or 2011-ish.
And what was the name of it?
Movement CrossFit, MVMNT. It was in Sacramento, obviously, because you guys are down in Santa Cruz, right?
Yeah, that's where the headquarters were. That's where I used to work. But yeah. But when I know that was a long time ago that you were on the show, but do you remember us talking about that?
Yeah, I remember mentioning it to you because I got my level 1 at NorCal CrossFit at Kalipa's gym.
Okay.
And then I've actually I did my wife and I just did a bunch of different like seminars as well. I did like a goal setting. It was like a CrossFit goal setting thing in Santa Cruz at one of the boxes down there. It might be the one you're talking about. It was a small little gym. Man, I don't remember exactly where it was.
The headquarters were here. We didn't do too many seminars there. It was a big gym. It wasn't a fancy gym, but it was a big gym. But that's where I worked. I worked in Scotts Valley. I'm sure you went somewhere else.
Okay.
I bet you went somewhere else. Yeah. Well, I apologize for not remembering because I heard you say that when you were being interviewed by Rampage, and I'm like, shit, did I know that?
I think if you go back and watch it, maybe I brought it up briefly, but who knows?
Lucky Camera Straps has the CEO membership, which we have been enjoying the behind the scenes. So here's some extra coin to say thank you. Oh, thanks. Awesome. Hey, before I go any further, I want to show anyone who's been living in a closet or who's not a fight fan. I just want to show them your last fight, and because I'm sure this is going to come up throughout. Let me just play this so people can see this. This is Bryce Flat Earth Mitchell, great character on Instagram. Love the guy, wholesome cat, crazy popular with MMA fans. At the top of the class, fought the same guy you did. You guys both had both of your last fights were with Topuria, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about a month ago, right?
Yeah. I fought Mitchell on the December 16th. So like 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago.
Okay. Here we go. Quick fight. Don't blink. Holy cow. Hey, can you still feel that in your hand today? Can you look at your hand and remember that feeling?
I feel like I've done it like a handful of times, and I always relate it to just like the perfect swing on a baseball bat, and you hit the ball perfect, it's out of the park. Maybe you swing a golf club. It's the same type of feeling. So I feel like I've felt that so many times. So with some of the the walk-off knockouts that I've had, I hit them and I just know, I can obviously see them falling down, and just the power that I have, and when I throw it and it says clean, as that one was, I just know the fight's over, and there's no need to follow up and inflict any more damage.
Is that right? Are you intimate with that movement?
Yeah. No, I feel
like that, like you could just stand there and just do that punch.
Yeah, I do it all the time, and I land it on so many people in sparring, in fights. I don't care if it's a 15-minute fight, a 25-minute fight. People say all I have is an overhand right. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna land it. I'm gonna land it.
You only have a 3-pointer. I know, yeah. It's great, isn't it?
I know, right?
Steph Curry only got a 3-pointer. Hey, is there something you see, Emmett, that triggers you to, you know what I mean? Like, I see the clock says 8:30 and it's like, fuck, I better start getting my head and my boys towards bed. Is there something you see someone do that makes you launch that you're aware of? Like, do you see them do something and you're like, oh, time for you to eat one of these?
Well, it's different with the Bryce Mitchell fight. I feel like there was a long filling out process. He came out. He's
when he says long, he means 60 seconds, people.
No, yeah, but we were like, I actually didn't get hit in that fight. That was the first fight I've ever been in. I didn't get touched.
Crazy.
But he's traditionally a southpaw. He came out fighting me orthodox, and I thought that was really odd. And I don't know if he was trying to throw me off with that. I thought he was going to come out and just immediately start trying to wrestle me and get me to the ground. So that's what we were preparing for. And then when he was doing that, I was just like, man, I spar a lot of, orthodox fighters. I fought most orthodox fighters. So anytime there's a southpaw fighter, they typically, I feel like, have the advantage because most people are conventional. But he came out trying to throw me off, and I was just waiting. I was like, as soon as he throws a jab or he throws a right hand, I'm either going to split that right hand with the overhand, or I'm going to come over the top with my overhand when he tries to jab me. And I was just waiting. And then that was kind of like the first exchange that he did that. And then I just timed it perfect, and he was coming in a little, so it made the knockout a little more, I guess, just dangerous. I guess, if you want to say that.
So when you throw that punch, this is going to be kind of a weird question. do you find out that you're going to throw it? Do you see it the same time we see it, or do you know you're going to throw it, or is your body reacting and you're like, oh fuck? Because like you said, there were two options. There were really three options. You were concerned he's going to take you down, and then what'd you say? You throw a jab and split it, or you throw the right. When do you know which one you're going to do, or do you not know? And then all of a sudden you're kind of like a witness to it. You're like, oh, I guess I'm throwing the right.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like that, just because I've practiced so many reps throughout training in my career and my life of fighting. So it's just it's almost like I'm on autopilot, and I feel like sometimes in fights we're not, at least I'm not, like my opinion and my thought process, I'm not really thinking about combinations too much. It's like I just react. So when he came out, I knew I was going to hit him with the overhand right. I was just kind of waiting for the punch to come so I could time it and come over the top, and then he threw a punch and I just instinctually like reacted to that, and just it's and sometimes I don't even think, my body just does stuff like reaction, even defense. Like when someone throws a punch at me, I don't like, oh shit, I got to block this. I just naturally do it. It's like it's just like embedded in me.
Let me I like this. Let me ask you one more thing that that I have boys that fight and play sports, and what I notice, and I'm guilty of it too, especially in like when we play tennis, it's you start to admire your own work, but you don't even admire your own work. You don't even take a second to enjoy it. You're already like ready for him to throw back. Like you get back into position. Oh damn, maybe you can't see in this shot. But you get back into position so fast. Like I mean, a split second later, you obviously know he's down right there. And then you're already like getting back, right? You're ready to wrestle after that or something.
Yeah. Right away. Right away. It's I feel like I'll throw one, maybe two shots hard, and every time I throw a punch or a strike, like I throw it with 100% power, and I can do that over the course of 15, 25 minutes. Every single punch I throw, I'm throwing with 100% power. I'm trying to finish the fights, whereas a lot of people, I feel like they can't do that. But I feel like I'm so well prepared, I'm so well conditioned, and I'm just I'm just yeah, I'm always ready. 1-2 punches, I'm ready to block a shot, or I thought I was going to have to down block and start like defending takedowns, but that punch landed flush and clean, and then I knew it was over. I was in a good position, and then I saw him obviously on the ground, and that was a wrap.
Can you show me? It looks like where are you hitting him with this? Where are you?
No. No, I'm just hitting him like how you should, like most boxers. It's I hit him with like my index finger and my middle knuckle, and that's why that middle knuckle is a little screwed up. But it's I land just flush just with those two knuckles. I definitely don't hit with the side of my hand. If you slow that down, it'll be like the perfect just index knuckle. It'll be just straight in the center of his forehead.
God, I always feel like I see guys. So you're not. It looks like you hit him with this thing, like almost like a opposite of a hammer fist. No, I'm not seeing it.
No, I'm ending like it's that knuckle. I turn it over at the very last minute, so it comes at like a weird angle. I know what you're talking about. It does look like that, but no, I'm hitting him with my knuckle, my two knuckles.
Do you remember Khabib in his early career, Josh? He had this weird like hook uppercut. That always looked like. Do you remember that thing? It would like come from his waist. Did you know what I'm talking about? Was it like? Okay.
I'd have to watch, but yeah, no, I watched a lot of fights. I watched a lot of.
And I could be describing it wrong because, like, look at me. I've watched this 100 times and I still can't figure out how. I'm asking you if you're hitting with this fucking thumb. Like what the fuck?
But it is like I throw that like I relate it to like pitching and throwing a baseball. I almost like my whole body mechanics are kind of the same way, and I'm just it's like CrossFit, core to extremities. Yeah. I'm putting everything, my legs to my core to it finishes with the knuckle, but I almost throw that thing from my hip but I throw everything I have into it. And even though it's like, people say you should always have some type of guard up, even though I drop my hand so low, my head is off the center line. And like I'm still looking out of the corner of my eye, and I throw it so fast that it's anything can happen. Someone could counter me, but a lot of times I feel like that's something that I've kind of mastered. And like I said, I'll land it on anybody.
You are way off the center line. It would be, they better be really prepared if they are going to counter.
And I know a lot of people like that I'm going to fight. They potentially they watch my fights and they know that's coming. So I feel like even me breaking down myself of how would I beat myself, what are some of the things that I would do. I think a lot of people think, okay, when he when he throws that overhand right, they're going to bring a knee up the center, they're going to throw a right kick. But I feel like I'm aware of what they may try to do, but it's not going to work in real time. I feel like it's not. Just because like my body positioning, I'm not just luckily throwing a overhand right, and otherwise I'm a pretty lucky person because I land that all the time.
Does that, I'm looking at the well, I'll get to the guys you fought before. I wanted to compare the guys you fought to Tupuria. It doesn't even fucking make sense why he's fighting for the title. I understand he's a scary guy, but before I go there, so does this change everyone's I mean, obviously everyone knew, okay, hey, there's this guy, Josh Emmett. He's 19-4. Is it, what's your record right now?
Yeah, 19-4.
He's 19-4. He's fucking knocked people. Not only do you knock guys out, but you hit guys and you spin them around and send them into kind of like weird positions when you hit them if you don't knock them out. The highlight reels are kind of crazy. And so then that happens to Bryce. And now everyone's you kind of have this weird what's the guy's name? Derrick Lewis. You're a weird featherweight. You're a weird 146-pound fighter. You have this weird Derrick Lewis thing, like, oh shit. This guy, it doesn't matter where you are in the fight, he can just knock you out. It's got to change everyone's strategy, make the people a little skittish. Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I feel like when people are fighting and people are watching the highlight reels of myself or that has to be in the back of their head. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the people I've actually dropped every single person that I fought at featherweight except Cater. I didn't drop him.
He's not droppable.
Yeah, I didn't drop him. Like him with some hard shots.
You just beat the shit out of him.
It has to be in the back of their head, just they have to be thinking about it somewhat because you don't know what's going to happen. You watch a lot of film and you think you're aware, but you really don't know until you get in there. Like I want to get hit by these guys. I want to feel how hard they hit, how fast they are, things like that. It sounds kind of odd, but I just because we don't know. And then once you get hit, you're just like, oh, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Or that's it.
It would be interesting to see how Max would deal with you. I think of Max Holloway, obviously, is I think of him as the greatest of all time. I think Volk's getting up there, but I really like Max. But he doesn't hit hard compared to you. He's got like that Manny Pacquiao style, right? Where it's just volume over power.
Yeah, no, I believe so. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I'm sure he can hit hard too, just because I feel like all these guys, they can hit hard. It's he's a tall, big guy too, so he probably has a lot of power at the end of his punch and stuff like that. And he is a phenomenal fighter. He was a great champion. He's a good person. So, but I do believe he is like much more of a volume puncher. But there is some power that comes with that, and it's the ones that you don't see coming that are the ones that hurt you when people really load up on shots and they connect. Maybe they hurt a little, but it's the ones that you don't see that kind of like drop you or put you out.
Ricardo Lamas, Jeremy Stevens, Michael Johnson, Shane Burgos, Ige, Cater, Yair Rodriguez. Topuria hasn't fought any of those guys.
Mm-mm. The only person Mitchell. And that's the thing, like with fighting, it's we put so much into a fight, whether it's 10, 12 weeks. Some days on fight day, it's not your day. I'll tell you that when I fought him, it wasn't my day, but man, that's a fight I want back bad. I want to fight Yair again. I want to fight him in Vegas, just here. I want to fight.
Where did you fight Yair at?
Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just I just like stuff that's not that like it doesn't matter like where, but it's like when you're cutting weight, you're doing all these. There's a lot of things that go into that factor into a fight, and it's sometimes travel can I don't know, I feel like can kind of hinder performance, but it's but regardless, I want some of these fights back. I just want to. I just want him back, being in there with them and just maybe just not performing to my ability. It just eats at me, and I definitely want those back.
After Yair and Topuria, I guess it's kind of bittersweet with Topuria because on one hand, if you would have won that, you'd probably be fighting for the title. But on the other hand, you lost to the guy who's fighting for the title. So theoretically that keeps you just right in the mix, right? And it went to decision, right?
Yeah, I'm the only one. I don't think or maybe he only went to decision one time with one other fighter, but I think he's finished everybody. Yeah, but regardless, it doesn't matter. He won that night. He was the better man, and but I want it back bad.
Did you after Yair and Topuria? Yair was 5-round fight that ended in the 4th.
Second, Yair.
Second, okay. After those 2 fights, were you at an all-time low for your career?
Yeah,
like personally, were you like, how was that, or were you how did you handle that?
Yeah, it's the first time ever in my career that I had lost 2 fights in a row. Most important fights of my life, probably the shittiest performances of my life as well. And so it was tough, but I hold myself to a very high standard, and I knew I just had to just get back in there, and I just wanted to fight and get back in the win column. There was nothing that was going to stop me. For one, I set a goal at the beginning of 2023, and that was to get 3 fights in. I lost to those 2 guys. I was getting one more in. It was the end of the year when I was supposed to fight someone else, and then there was a little change up with the 2-week notice. But
who were you supposed to fight?
Giga Chikaze.
Oh, that's right. Oh shit! Wow,
yeah,
that'd have been a fight too.
I was supposed to fight him. He got hurt 2 weeks before, but I had a lot of plans after this fight. I put a lot of money and time and effort and energy into this fight. He got hurt 2 weeks before. I was still fighting. I was still accomplishing my goal of getting 3 fights in. I was going to fight no matter what on the 16th. I didn't care who they put in front of me because I had a lot of things planned afterwards. And I wasn't going to sit back and wait. And I really couldn't.
You would have fought anybody? Didn't matter at that, like 2 weeks out, you're like, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
Anybody. Yeah. They sent me.
God, they should have given you Aljo. Wouldn't have been fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was. I would have fought anybody.
Yeah,
I would have fought anyone, but I ended up going with. Actually, Bryce took the fight, but he was one of the most popular and most dangerous fighters out of all the guys they gave me. But at the end of the day, I would have fought anybody, and I wanted someone ranked, at least a big name, because there'd be these guys that.
Yeah, you got a great guy. When I saw that pop on the card, I was like, "Holy shit! I can't believe we're gonna watch this."
Yeah, so it worked out perfect, and the fight went perfect, and that's something that as fighters, we always hope that we can go in there, last punch we land or first punch we land, that's over, and that's kind of what happened. And I got out of the fight unscathed, and even though that was a crazy knockout, I think knockout of the year, which a lot of people think, but Bryce, even though he got knocked out, he got cleared. He's not. There was no severe injuries or anything like that shortly after, and he's going to take a little more time off, which I think is great. He is a good guy. I met him there. He's He was just super respectful, super nice guy, and I wish him all the best. But it's like we're going in there fighting. It's that's what people want to see too. They want to see big knockouts, and I feel like I owe that to not only the company, to the fans. It's like sometimes I almost got like a little I don't know, people were like criticizing me that I was like celebrated a little too much, or it
I
was
don't
just
think so. He thanked you
yeah.
profusely for not punching him again. A lot of guys would have punched again. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
we just saw one this past weekend.
Yeah, I forget
What
who
was
it
it? What was it? It was the main event.
is.
Fuck, I can't remember. I'll think about it. But go ahead. So some people said that you overstepped your bounds.
Yeah, or stuff like that, and then it's like with everything that comes, it's like there was this company that I did. They just asked if they could use my likeness to make some shirts. I said, oh, of course, you know. And then it's like people are like, oh, you're doing all this stuff. That's too much. I'm like, that's what happens in a fight, and it's like that's what like I want that to. I'm gonna try to do everything in my power to do that every single time. You know what I mean? It's like it was a little odd, but at the end of the
More
day,
people will buy pay-per-views to watch you fight after seeing that. I mean, that at the end of the day, I mean, that was the thing with Derrick Lewis. It's like, oh, here it comes. You're just going to watch two trains collide, right? And
yeah.
that if you go to a Josh Emmett fight, you're going to see the hardest puncher in the featherweight class who's got the greatest endurance at throwing the hardest punches go.
Yeah, and I'll do that every time, and I'm gonna,
I mean, you and Volkanovski would be crazy.
No, I know. That's why it's yeah, I want to get whoever has the belt, you know, and that's why I've always wanted to fight Volkanovski because he has the belt. But even though he's a good person as well, I feel like everyone that I fought is pretty respectful. But yeah, that him and I are very similar in like stature and stuff like that, power, athleticism. So I think it would be a phenomenal fight for the fans, and that's something that a lot of people have wanted to see. And you know, I just have to get back to just continue to win fights. And like you said, I am right in the mix. You know, so depending on what happens with these guys, I feel like I could be one more win away from getting a shot, or you never know in the division, kind of what happens, who's available, things like that. I don't know. So, but I think I'm right there.
Someone's telling me how to pronounce his name, Yair.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
fine with both. Yair. I call him both. Me and him are close. I call him whatever. I call him whatever I want. I'm looking at this. I'm trying to remember which fight it was from last week. Was it the Randy Brown fight? I'm trying to remember, but the guy was the guy was clearly out, and then Randy had to punch him one more time before the ref got. Was it that fight?
He did hit him a few times, but I'm not sure if that's the one you're thinking about.
Yeah, which fight was that? One of the fights, the ref didn't call it, and so the guy had to go over there and punch him one more time. That was maybe it was on the prelims. That wasn't necessary. Do you watch the fights?
I do. Yeah, if I can. I don't think I watched last week's fights because I was doing something, and they were a little earlier, right? Was it a?
Yeah, yep. 4 p.m.
Yeah, so no, I try to watch a lot of the fights. You know, I've been a fan of the sport for so long, since I was, you know, long time ago. So if I'm available, which most of the time I'll try to watch the fights or at least the main card. Yeah, I'm always tuning in, watching them.
Have they offered you another fight, Josh, since you weren't hit in your last fight?
They wanted to see if I wanted to fight at UFC 300 a while ago, but I have to take a little time off just because I did a stem cell procedure. And so I have to take, you know, a good amount of time off. So I can't even go back to training until right around UFC 300. So
do you wish you wouldn't have done that procedure or
no, not at all. I've been dealing with some stuff for years. So I just want to get back to feeling good again.
So didn't get hit in the fight. Immediately, it sounds like you did some stem cell procedure. Have they offered you anything since then? Do you know who they were going to offer you in UFC 300?
No, they just asked if I'd be available for UFC 300.
Damn.
And I knew going into it, it's like I wanted to get 3 fights in, and then I just want to, I take good care of my body, but
Good.
I've
Okay.
just been dealing with things for a few years where I haven't been able to fight at the potential I would like to, and I hold myself accountable to. So that's why um, I just want to get back to feeling good, so I can. Then I'm like, it's on. And then because I feel like I have one last chance to make a run at the title, but I have a long career ahead of me. So I just want to feel good, and so I can train and fight the way I know I can.
So what I'm hearing from you is you want to get the title and defend it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Um, let's just at the 146 pounds. So it sounds like Volkanovski and Topuria are fighting, right?
Hmm.
So in a perfect world, I guess, would you say Volk wins? You fight Volk, and then you refight Topuria?
That would be in a perfect world if I can write that best, because I do feel like Volk is one of the. I know you're saying Max is, one of the greatest featherweights, which I believe he's up there. He'd be number two on my list. I have Volkanovski as the greatest featherweight of all
Right.
time, because he was the pound for pound number one. He's beat Max.
Legit pound for pound number 1 too, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like even after he lost to what's his name,
Islam.
he was beating Islam's ass in the 5th round.
Yeah, and that's why I just feel like I just feel like he's right now he's the great.
Incoming phone call, small break, small bathroom break. Josh Emmett must run to the bathroom very quickly. He'll be back shortly. No one fret. Every man has to pee at some point. We're all humans. I wonder if he knows that he's not, I can't hear him anymore. Someone called or something, or he got a text or FaceTimed him or. Oh, Mason. Oh, Mason, you didn't even think he's going to show up, and he's here. You shut it. We already got our money's worth. Oh, look, here he comes back. Here he comes. I see something. He's coming. Just now we're just hanging on every word. Dude, listen, he fought Shane Burgos, I think, twice. Fucking nuts, dude. That guy is a hammer. Top of his game, loses 2 fights in a row, come back, knocks out Bryce Mitchell in the first round, destroys Bryce Mitchell, sends him into another universe. That wasn't even Josh Emmett. The recording ran out. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, I just timed it all perfect. Look, there he is. He came back. That was one of his relatives calling. That was one of your relatives asking for money.
It was actually my little brother that called me. Like that fucker messed up a bit, but I just said it to do not disturb. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so you were saying we were talking perfect world. Volk is the best. I agree. Volk is the best too. I would rank him number 1 too. I just love Max, but you're right. Volk is the best. So in a perfect world, you would get to fight him.
Yeah,
Because
no.
what if Topuria wins? And even though I don't think he is, but what if Topuria wins? I wonder what are they gonna do with you, dude?
Yeah, I don't know that. Maybe they'll get that rematch. They like the who knows that.
I don't
But
really want to
yeah,
see you fight anyone except for the title. I don't really want to see you fight Giga or Matt. This is kind of. I would like to see. It would be cool to see you fight Conor McGregor at 155. Wouldn't that be cool?
yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to fight Connor? You get
Yeah.
paid well, and he's such a such a big name in the sport, and brought a lot of eyes to everyone. So yeah, of course, I would love that. But yeah, I doubt that happens ever.
Would you fight Diaz too?
No, I
No.
wouldn't fight Nate. Like
Why?
there's
Because he's in your hometown. Because he's a homie.
he's like they're like an hour from us, Stockton, and it's like Nate and I are cool, So it's like I would never fight him. And we're not even in the same weight classes. Now he's 2 weight classes above me, But
But he fought Conor at 155 too, though, right?
yeah, he did.
Man, I can't believe that they didn't give you. Have you ever been offered a title? Oh, you fought. That was the interim when you fought Topuria?
Yair.
Yair. After that fight, do you cry? You go
No,
home and cry? No, you don't go in your hotel and you're like, fuck, and put your head in the pillow and cry?
just no.
No, no.
I'm just pissed. I want to get the hell out of the arena. I'm just like, it's definitely, it's hard. It's just because so much goes into it, and it's all my coaches and everyone that came out. I had so many friends and family that flew out to Perth, Australia, which is like the furthest place you can actually fly in the world from Sacramento. And yeah, I just felt like I don't know, just it's hard. I don't even want to. I just want to like disappear and stuff like that. But I had a lot of people that come out, and I had to go out and just I don't know, just for me, just thank them for being there and showing support and stuff like that. So we definitely, hung out. But I'm definitely not in a good place, I guess you can say, just because I'm thinking about. I'm just playing the fight over and over in my head, and then we had a handful of friends that we are going to do like Australia trip just because we were there. So we stayed in Perth for a while. We went to Sydney, and then each city we'd go to, we'd have a few more people that would like fly back home, and then my wife and I were with our best friends, and then we end up doing New Zealand, the South and North Island, and at one point my wife knows me really well, and she can just tell. She looks over at me, and I'm just like, I'm not staring off into like nothing, but I'm just like, I just can't stop replaying this stuff in my head, and she knows that I'm not happy, and she's just like, we can go home or you can try to have a good time. I'm like, I really didn't care at that moment, but so I try to. That's one of the main reasons why I just wanted to get home, get back to training, and get back to fighting. So I literally came home, and they had already, offered me a fight against Ilya shortly after, just because I said I want to fight ASAP, and nobody would fight Ilya, and so I was like, yeah, sign me up, I'll fight him.
And so that was on.
Yeah, that was on.
And so is there any cure for losing a fight? It's just another fight?
Yeah, I think you just gotta move on. And that's just, or another fight. But no, I think you just have to move on at the end of the day. It's like anything in life. It's like you go through, like, things are tough. There's tough times, there's struggles, adversity in your life, whatever it is. It's like you can sit there and feel sorry for yourself and dwell on the past, or you can just, in my mind, just move on. It's, even though you're going to think about it, and it's still, certain things like bother me, and I think they always will. But I still have to just keep moving forward. And I do see this in a lot of fighters, where they let it just, like, it just eats at them the whole time, and they're always talking, or not always, but some fighters, they think they want to fight, but they lost. It's like, look it up. What was the scorecards? You either won or you lost. You win or you lose. And so it's like, those fights I lost, it pisses me off. It motivates me, and I keep working towards another fight. But there's other fighters that, they're having another fight scheduled, and this is like 5-6 months later, and during their fight week, they're still talking about their previous fight that they thought they won. I'm like, you lost the damn fight. You should focus on the opponent that you're going to fight on Saturday night. And then you see a lot of these guys lose. I think I don't know, it does something to you, because they're like so all over the place, and they're not like solely focused on like the task at hand and the opponent in front of them. And I see that sometimes. I'm like, this guy's going to lose this fight, and typically that's what happens.
Did you see Dave Chappelle's most recent stand-up?
No, I haven't.
A section of it, there's this theme he has going through the stand-up where he talks about being a dreamer, that he's a dreamer, and that he hangs around with dreamers and people who dream. I think that's the word he uses, dreamers. And he says he's standing in there, and he's like, smoking a cigarette, and he's 1 years old, and he's like, I dreamt about this when I was 14 years old. Do you spend a lot of time dreaming and imagining? Like, Do you have a strong imagination?
Yeah, no, I definitely, I feel like I do that a lot. I feel like you're manifesting things, and I do that. I visualize stuff. There's a lot of things that like I do. Like I make a vision board every New Year's Eve. You know, my wife and I and our best friends, we made a vision board on New
What is
Year's
that?
Eve.
Can you tell me what that is?
It's just stuff that it's like it's almost like setting goals, but it's something that it's much more like elaborated and just big. Think of like dream big. I feel like if you achieved all your goals last year, they probably weren't big enough. So it's like we have this poster board, and we go and get tons of magazines, and we just cut out whether it's quotes, sayings from the magazines, whether it's words, whether it's pictures, and you make this big ass collage. You put it together. You put a picture of yourself on there. We always sign the back and date it. And I've been doing this since I was a little kid. You know, my mom is I grew up she's a naturopath, so my mom is, you know, into holistic medicine and things like that. So I grew up doing these type of things, and so I feel like my wife and I we do it now. I have stuff before from 2007, before I went down to Menlo College to wrestle. I always wanted to fight in the UFC. I still have this vision board that like I made, and I found it in the attic at my mom's house when we were moving a long time ago. But it has a lot of stuff that I have now, like UFC suit. I wasn't even fighting then. I was going down to wrestle in college. So I feel like back to the vision board, it's like you make this big collage of big things that you've always dreamed of that you want to do, and it's not like a short-term goal. It's just you're putting it out there, and then we have them in our room. So I literally see this thing every day. First thing when I wake up, when I go to bed, when I'm doing my red light in the morning, I'm staring at this thing for 20 minutes, and it's just your subconscious. It's like I don't know. I truly believe in things like this, and visualizing things and dreaming, like you're saying, and feeling things that I've always wanted. I feel like I have them,
You
and
feel them too.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
just visualize them, you feel them.
yeah. I feel like to like, oh yeah, like you have a chip on your shoulder, like this is. I feel like I am this, or I want this. What is it? What does it feel like to have that? So I do a lot of this. I've done this for since I was a little kid, and I feel like I am just like living proof of this. Like obviously my mom, my wife, my close friends and family that know me, if they've known me for a long time, things that I've always said I'm gonna do something, like I am doing it, you know. So I feel like if I can do that, like there's so many people that do this already, but I 100% believe in these type of, like, I guess exercises, whatever you want to call them.
When you go to bed at night, do you always is that part of your routine, going to bed at night? Laying on your back and dreaming and like visualizing and feeling? Is it part of your
No,
and if you don't do it, do you feel like you're being lazy? Like, are there times when you should be doing it that you don't?
no.
No.
It just depends. Like I don't do that like every night, but I see this vision board. I feel like throughout the day I'm thinking about certain things that I've wanted. But I do feel like, touching off of that, like I feel that way with like in camps or something. That's why whether it's you know, my diet, extra workout, something like that, I will never cheat the process, because then I will be pissed at myself that I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Like even going back to like doing cold plunges in the morning. We have a plunge here. It's like I would get up every single morning and I go straight out there. If I were to tell myself, oh, let's not do it today, let's do it tomorrow, and I didn't do it one day, I would beat myself up. I'd be pissed. You know, it's like in camp, you know, and a lot of things. If I'm working towards something and I'm trying to achieve something, I am pretty hard on myself. But as far as like those activities and dreaming, visualize, I don't do that every single night. It's not like a typical routine I do. But if it were a routine, then I would just do it every single night, you know.
Have you ever heard of this author? He's from the turn of the century, like early 1900s. Napoleon Hill. He wrote this book, Law of Success.
Law of Success. Napoleon Hill. I think no, I don't know.
What's crazy is I'm listening to this. People have always told me about this book, and so I'm listening to this book, and then I hear the Dave Chappelle thing, and I'm like, whoa, these guys are talking about the same thing, but one guy's talking about in 2024, and one guy's talking about in 1924.
Jeez.
And then here I am asking you, and you're like, yeah, I do that. You think that that's you think every single champion does that? You think that there's a single person who didn't dream their success, consciously dream their success? Like they just stumbled into it. Hey, I just do hard work and have good habits, and fuck, here I am. Champion.
Yeah, maybe, like, who knows? But I would think a lot of people are, they have high expectations of themselves. They're visualizing themselves accomplishing big goals. They probably goal oriented, which I am, and they're setting out goals. And you have to, like, I feel like if you want something, I know people say, oh, you got to say it, but you have to work towards it. Like, you can't just think these things and actually not put in the work. Like, you're not going to achieve anything unless you are lucky, and that's probably very rare. But yeah, I would say a lot of champions, or people that are very successful, I agree with you. I think that is definitely an exercise or something that they implement into their lives, or some type of daily routine.
Who taught your mom?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. My mom.
What a crazy gift she gave you.
Yeah, no, and now I'm so grateful for it, just because like, I never went to the doctor. Like, unless I needed an X-ray or a physical growing up. If I was sick, she would make some, like, herbal remedy or concoction, and I'd be drinking this nasty shit, or like taking some tincture. She made everything from scratch. Like, I didn't eat any processed stuff. We didn't have any shit in the house. And I was always bummed about that. Growing up as a kid, I was like, Mom, why can't I have this? Or can we get some soda? And she, no. Like, so I'd go to my friends' houses, and I'd, like, oh, they'd have Twinkies, or, just regular
cereal. Remember sugar cereal at the friend's house?
We didn't have any of that. Like, it's, but I'm so grateful now. I'm so grateful for that. Even going back to when I was younger, and I feel like my mom was ahead of certain things too. You hear about, like, we didn't have a microwave in the house because of certain things, and then she never used aluminum. Like, we didn't have aluminum foil in the house. We had nothing aluminum, and I was like, Mom, why can't we just put this over there? She wouldn't do it. And then like 20 years later, you hear about all, like, the bad stuff with cooking in aluminum, like all the shitty pans and stuff like that. She had cast iron skillets and stuff like that, and I was like, what is this? But I feel like she was way ahead of of certain things. I used to think it was crazy, and then 10-20 years later, this thing comes out and it's so popular. I'm like, damn, my mom was right.
What about when you went to Australia? Did they try to give you the shot when you went there?
No, because it was in 2023.
Over. So. Oh, yeah. Did you have to lose any fights because you wouldn't get the shot?
No, I feel like luckily Dana White, he was
yeah.
Boss. Like, I think all the fighters and stuff, we're lucky to have a boss like him, and he's that basically the UFC was a gold standard for the COVID bubble, and he started all that. Like, sports followed suit because of what he was doing. So I'm grateful to fight for him and the UFC. To be honest.
Was your mom very political growing up?
No,
she wasn't. Okay, because it's interesting.
She would, like, she wasn't, like, I feel like she has very strong beliefs and stuff like that, and certain things, like, she wouldn't, like, I know her thoughts, and I so you say political, like, I guess she wouldn't tell her views, like, try to put them on people, but she thought a lot of stuff was bullshit, honestly. And then now we see a lot of things, at least I feel like, and I don't talk like politics and things like this or conspiracy theories, but it's just like, I see, like, a lot of things going on now. I'm just like, even just like our food and everything, it's like, I think
like in schools, if schools and prisons feed their people the same shit, like schools feed kids poison. Like everyone knows it, yet we keep doing it. Everyone knows it.
yeah, it's I think it's horrible. You know.
Here's the place I was going. You grew up in California?
Yep, Sacramento.
Okay, so I grew up in the Bay Area too. So I grew up very liberal upbringing, do good for people, love people, be kind to people, fucking the healthy lifestyle. And then
Yeah,
all of a sudden, all those people are like have flipped the script on me. Or I wasn't paying attention. All the people that were supposed to be good people and like leave people alone and freedom and let everyone do their own shit, all of a sudden they're like when COVID happened, they're all of a sudden they're like, hey, I guess it's just the whole victim mentality. All of a sudden they're just demanding that we feel sorry for people, or they're demanding we be racist, or they're demanding we take drugs. And I was just wondering how your mom processed that. If she was like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to all my friends? Like, what happened to Neil Young? You know what I mean? Like, dude, Neil.
But so she was that way. She wouldn't say it, but she's the same person she's been, and she definitely has her strong beliefs, like I said. So it's like I personally, like, I don't care what other people are doing. Like,
Right.
I feel like if someone wants to go do this and they feel safer, that's fine. That's on you. But I just don't like when people try to like force their views or beliefs on me. Like, just let
Fair.
everyone let everyone like
Yeah,
decide for themselves, what they
yeah.
want to do. And that's how I feel with everything. At the end of the day, I just want whatever's going to be better, even for like our country, like what's
Right.
going to be better for the people, the economy, like certain things.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just it's
It's
weird.
it's a weird. Do you think it's a weird time we live in?
Oh, I think it's a crazy time we live in.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
I think it's just it's nuts, and it is weird. Like a lot of like people even losing friendships over, like, even if they're like, oh, I like this person, or I like this, this policy or belief, and people just it's like you're either with us or against us. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think both people on the far left and far right are like whack, but like I can see both sides, and I'm usually just in the middle, and I just if something I agree with, I'm like, okay, I understand that. Like, I always just observe, listen, and like think, but I'll never like befriend someone or be pissed at someone for having their own opinion, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's like do you like green or yellow? If you say yellow, I'm gonna be pissed at you. I hate yellow. Like, I can't ever talk to you or come on your podcast again. Like, I'm like, okay. It's odd. I think the world is in a strange place, but
Troy Martin, Southern man don't need him around anyhow. Quote from Neil Young. Look at you. So when would be the soonest we would see you dancing around with your hands up in front of your face trying to knock dudes out?
yeah, I'm hoping, just because I really can't really get back to even training till for a few more months. So I'm maybe International Fight Week, June 29th.
Oh, that's sooner than I thought. I thought you were going to say like 2025. Holy shit.
No. I don't know. That's just me always like forward thinking. I still don't know right now, but I'm just like I always set goals, and usually I try to stick by them as close as I can, at least. So that's just something that's in my head. I'm like, I would want to fight in April. I'd want to fight this weekend, if I could, because I feel fine. I want to stay active. I want to stay consistent, and just continue to fight at least 3 times a year, if not more. But I do want fights that are going to get me closer to the title too. Always fighting these guys that I've taken every fight. I fought everybody.
You really have. It's crazy.
No good to. I take these fights that people are behind me, and there's a lot of people that, like, they will not fight anyone behind them. They only want to fight forward, and they'll sit there and say no to every fight. And they'll wait a year, and then they'll get a fight someone in front of you. But I've only fought 2 people in front of me my whole career. Even when I'm ranked high, I'm fighting everyone in the back, and it does me nothing. It does nothing for me, because I just beat Bryce. Okay, when I win fights and I have big finishes, I shift back in the rankings. It doesn't make sense to me, at least.
Was he was number 4?
Bryce was, I think he was like 9 or something.
9, okay.
He was way up there until he lost to Ilya.
Okay.
But I feel like when I I win fights, they move me out of the rankings. So if I was sitting back, not winning a fight in years and years, or not fighting anyone, like I'd be out of the top 20.
Maybe you
Compared
need to get
to,
active on Twitter. Maybe you need to. Do you ever talk shit to people on Twitter?
no, but I don't know. It's even that's just I don't know these guys. I feel like anytime I'm on a card, people are excited to see me fight just because like I'm gonna try to do that every time. I've never been in a boring fight. I can fight. I'm not this person this character. People always say, "Oh, you need to start talking shit." And I'm like, that's not me. I don't know what these guys are going through or what they've been through. I don't know them personally, so I'm just not gonna do that. I feel like I don't know. I just want to be who I am. Like what you get. I can fight. I'm not an actor. I didn't go to school to become some actor. I fight, and I think I'm really good at it. And I feel like my fighting speaks for itself too. So it's I don't know why we have to just be some character. I think a lot of people are trying to be.
Maybe you could tweet some shit like, "Good evening, Mr. McGregor. I noticed that you're thinking about fighting. I would be happy to get in the ring and tussle with you."
But I feel like that's take that approach. But I feel like it's
Would you like to put on some really tight underwear and get in the ring together and beat the fucking shit out of each other? I'm game on any given Saturday at 7 p.m. You could just be
I'll try that.
Yeah, totally. Hey, well, how will you know if the stem cells work, Josh?
Everybody's different. It's this place that I actually went to, though, they have a really high success rate, and it's they typically take 3 to 4 months, and they continue to work for up to a year. But everyone's different. So some people, those 20% that it hasn't worked for, it can do nothing. But I'm hopeful, and I went to a great place, and just kind of sitting back and hoping they work their magic, and I can get back in feeling great again.
You sweating every day?
No.
No, you don't get like on an assault bike or go for like put on like extra sweatshirts and go for a long like walk up a hill, or no sweat. You don't sweat every day?
Not right now. No.
Wow, crazy. Good. That takes some discipline not to do that, huh?
Yes, it's definitely hard.
Because you love working out.
Yeah, and I've done my entire life, and so it's kind of funny. Whereas, I enjoy the lifestyle of fighting. I do enjoy being healthy and training, but I've worked out my whole life, like literally my whole life, and so it's like we used to when we go on vacation, like we'd be like, oh, we'll bring some like running shoes and some like some workout
jump rope. Maybe
gear.
maybe some dumbbells.
And then sometimes I wouldn't use it. And then after a while, I'm like, because I want to be on vacation. Like I work out for a living every single day, like rain or shine, like whether I'm sore or not, I have to. So I just got real after a while. My wife's like, oh, you want to bring some stuff to work out? I'm like, no, I'm not going to work out. I'm on vacation. I'm like, so now we just, we kind of stick to that. But it was hard after doing the stem cells. They didn't want you doing anything for like 2 to 4 weeks. You can start like PT after 2 weeks, but they didn't want you doing anything. And that was hard for me because I was like, you think I could do like some push-ups and stuff? And she's like, no, you can't do anything. I was like going to start doing something, but I just have to. I follow, like it's their protocol. I don't like cheat certain things, or people that are specialists in certain areas and they're telling me one thing, like I listen to the experts. It's like my dietitians, when they tell me exactly what time to eat, weigh this out, do this, like I follow their plan to the T. I don't like try to cut corners. I don't do certain things because I have regrets in college, like wrestling. I didn't follow the right program. I was partying during the season, and that's why I have regrets to why I got into fighting, because it's like I feel like I could have been a national champion. Things bother me, and I should get that because I didn't, like I cheated the system, and it showed it doesn't work. So anytime someone's telling me to do this, and this is the best case scenario, I do that. I always ask them, what's the best? And they say, well, this would be. I said, okay, I'm going to do that. So, I always just listen to people.
You've turned into an adult.
yeah, I guess so.
Hey, brother, I love having you on. I think the conversation we had about dreaming, there's going to be at least one person out there that changes their life. I'm telling you, there's not enough people out there dreaming. What a cool little bit you shared. I know I'm really been thinking about it a lot lately. I'm not a goal-oriented person. I'm just a person with good habits and discipline and structure. But maybe I need to start dreaming more. So I appreciate you.
I'll say start looking at look up vision boards. It's pretty simple, It's like we do it almost every year, and
I like it.
We still have stuff from 2016. My wife and I, we both have multiple vision boards on our wall, and we see them all the time, and it's crazy. We go back or don't go back, but we look at things on the board, and it's like, okay, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. It's wild, like it really is. So I would say, yeah, maybe do that since you don't set a lot of goals, but I still
life's just been easy and cruising, but maybe I should start working on that shit.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun, and you'll see you'll check things off and accomplish things or visit places that you have on this board and you're not even thinking about it, and it's just like, damn, I've been there. Look what I put on this spot. I don't know. I've done it since I was young. Thanks.
I love it. All right, dude. I'll be staying in touch. Thanks for always making it so easy to be in touch with you. Thanks for coming on tonight. You're a good dude. Of course.
Great to be here, and we'll talk later.
Ciao, Josh Emmett.
Have a good night.
Good night. I used to play this manifestation game with my wife. I've told the story before. It had a weird fucking ending. Boy, oh boy, did it have a weird ending. Sevan, are you going to make quarterfinals? I know, but I don't even know what that means. But no, I'm not even gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna even do the. Jesus Christ! Kenneth, that manifestation sounds satanic. Jesus Christ! Take that Bible and shove it up your ass and turn it sideways. For fuck's sake! Sounds satanic. Why? Because it's just. How about we just call it praying? Listen, Jason. Prove Dave wrong. I see the world as a musical instrument, and I'm just there to finger it. I just finger it. I am not interested in ever being right. I'm interested in getting what I want. Let that be very clear. Dylan Vowell, our local fighter. Can't believe I missed another. Can't wait to listen. Keep killing it, guys. There's something I wanted to share. What was it? Oh, the thing about how Josh doesn't have kids. Josh Emmett, not yet. And so that thing where you don't want to befriend, you would never defriend someone for an opinion. Like, I don't care. Like if you get the shot, and I'd even be your friend if you think that like my kids shouldn't be allowed to go to school if they don't get the shot, even though I think you're a fucking complete moron. But like, I'd still be your friend, love you to death and all that. I don't care if like you're an idiot and you believe in global warming, climate change as what they tell you. Like, you're a brain dead idiot and you can't even explain it. Anthropogenic global warming, and you believe just dumb shit like, oh, Trump's telling the Congress and Senate not to pass the new bill that would stop things at the border. Like, if you just believe that without actually going and looking at the bill, and yeah, so you're Brian's friend. Yeah, dude, I love Brian friend. Yeah, listen, but those people aren't telling the truth when they say that they wouldn't defriend someone, because you do not want anyone who would pull your child aside and speak to them about taking drugs and getting that would I'm not talking about even like smoking weed or doing meth or coke or fentanyl, but I'm talking about like shit like hormone blockers that once you take them, your course of your reality is completely changed forever. The truth is vaccines do the exact same thing. They completely change your immune system. All you got to do is 5 minutes of research. If you have kids, please do 5 minutes. But to think that you would be friends and accept some like a pedophile like in your ranks, like you wouldn't. You're at that point you're just a bad parent. And so like I get the notion of just wanting to love everyone and accept everyone, and I'm so down with that on so many levels. Like, God bless the Godfather and the Lone Ranger and the CrossFit's media team and just all the just douche nozzles out there and all the racist woke bigots. But as soon as you have kids, there is if you're not with me, you're against me piece, and that's if you want to harm my kids. And so I just can't once you want to harm my kids, I can't do that. And I'm okay if that distances me from I don't know, God, because I'm not accepting of his children who are pedophiles, then I apologize, but I don't have that wisdom. So that's that. Or you know, and I don't even, like I've told you before, like I have tons. I'm surrounded by racists. I have tons of friends who are just crazy racists. I mean, we see them all the time, but I'm still going to make fun of them. I mean, I'm friends with tons of victims. I'm tons of people who've like. I mean, I'm surrounded by fucking Democrats. I'm racist, cuck, bigot, selfish assholes. I'm total friends with them. I had this friend. A few months ago, they did some really dumb shit, and I go, "Wow, you are a fucking monster." And this friend said, "How can you think that about me and still be my friend?" I'm like, "Dude, I have lots of friends who are monsters. So many friends who are monsters." There's this I wonder what this word means. Do you guys know what the word initiative means? Let me see. Let's look it up. Initiative. The ability to assess and initiate things independently. Initiative. The power or opportunity to act or take charge before others do. So this morning, I explain me that. I'm going to. Here we go. This morning, I think it was Caleb or Will Branstetter. I can't even remember. Someone texted me and said, "Hey, should I make episode 9 live?" I'm like, "Oh yes, thank you." You think that that's like nothing, but that sets them like at elite level initiative relative to the rest of the people. Oh, there's this guy who has been reaching out to me about making clips, shorts, right? So he's taken initiative. That's another thing too, initiative and follow through. If you are not, and then there's the opposite of initiative, right? There's like, I guess there's levels. There's initiative. You see the piece of trash, you go over and pick it up. You see the piece of trash, you don't pick it up. You don't see the piece of trash at all. But all the dudes, all the people in my life, it's often I refer to it as givers. They're givers. They just keep giving to me. Give. And I've surrounded myself by people who take initiative. What is it? The ability to assess and initiate things. So they like make me clips or tell me like, hey, like even Jeremy World, he'll be like, hey dude, you have, or Bruce Wayne, they'll be like, hey dude, you have 2 shows scheduled. Like, think of all the fucking people I know, but those fucking 2 dudes send me that. Or Jeffrey Burchell texts me and says, you didn't do a show, are you okay? Those are just like really simple forms of initiative, but like I just want to be around people who have initiative. Audrey, fine, I'll give you a standee. Okay, this show's over. Thank you. I'll see you in the back in 20 minutes. So, those are, I mean, what are 3 synonyms for initiative? Let's see what this is. What is this? Initiative, push, energy, enterprise, ambition, pep, motivation, zip. The thing is it's so natural for people who have it. You just, you're not doing it to, you're not doing it to get anything. It's weird. Ernie Garza. Man, Ernie, fuck, man. You went to the Health Summit, man. People can't stop talking about how cool you are to me. How crazy. You even got a picture with Sugar-Free Revolution. Is that who you got the picture with? I saw your picture. I know this is going to be crazy. Oh yeah, look at you, dude. What a little stud you are, dude. Look at you. Yeah, so you must have, so I heard you, and then there's Ernie Garza, whom I had the pleasure of finally meeting this weekend. Ernie, you're truly something else. Your spirit, your drive, and your all hands on deck attitude this week didn't just impress me. They were essential to our success, and I really want you to know that I see you and I appreciate you deeply. Most people I'd be like, God, that's so cheese dick, but I love Karin and I know she means it. You look good, dude. That's a nice shirt. Look at your fucking chest and your pants and shit. Look at you. Look at that vein on your fucking hand. Jesus. Oh, vascular. Anyway, yeah, that's initiative. That's initiative. People are talking about the yes, Sixto. Yes, that was Danielle Brandon that he was with. Yes. Karin Thompson posted a picture of Danielle Brandon and Ernie. Yes. Johnny, $5. So what? $5 says Sevan last less than 3 minutes getting that standee. Listen, I feel guilty if they get forearm fatigue and have to switch hands. Look at you, all buff and shit. What are you doing? Are you eating an ice cream cone? What are you doing? You looking at your phone? What shirt are you wearing? You need to. If that really is you, Johnny, you need to DM me your address. You need a Sevan Podcast jersey. Jesus criminy. You're a fucking stud. Everyone's looking so good. My elbow's hurting. You better get that shit healed up. You only need it for 2 minutes. Oh, Kenneth. Not cool. Not cool. I bet it takes him 3 minutes just to get hard. I'm a frisky guy. I heard they caught some of the irony. I heard they caught some of the illegals that beat up the cops in New York. I heard they arrested him in Arizona, which is right. Arizona, of course. In New York City, they let you go. Arizona, they arrest you. Born Primitive is the sponsor for the Taylor Self versus the World. And I'm pretty damn proud. think they're a fucking great fit. I don't know if you remember the let me see if I can. The CEO was on the show. I felt kind of bad. He was on the show, and then I reached out to him like, "Yo, you want to cough up some loot and be a part of this?" And the reason why I called him is because I wanted his fucking money, but I also was like, man, this is so much better. I don't want to say some of my friends are sponsored by like Rainbow Brands, and I'm not doing Rainbow Brands. Anyway, so then he posted this today, and I thought this was kind of cool.
I'll be honest. For me, this is in a way a deliberate FU to Nike. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. When they banned that Air Force One with the Betsy Ross flag on the grounds that the Betsy Ross flag, which is the flag of the American Revolution, is somehow racist, I cannot believe they got away with that. And you know, for those that we just did an episode on woke capitalism with Anson Frericks. I highly recommend you tune into that if you haven't already. It's fascinating. Had they tried to pull that shit right now, they would have gotten their asses. I mean, they did get some out, but for the most part, it didn't affect them at all.
Yeah.
But for one of the biggest apparel brand on the planet, you know, an American founded brand, to say that the symbol of the birth of our republic is now somehow offensive or racist blows me the fuck away, man. I'll be honest.
I like it. I like it. I like it. What I don't even remember that. Show me this Betsy Ross flag. I don't even know what he's talking about. Betsy Ross flag. I just like dudes standing up. Oh. Here we go. Okay, fine. Yeah, I've never. Who the fuck thinks this shit is racist? Well, let me do a little research here. The Betsy Ross flag is reconstructed early design for the flag of the United States, which is a conformant to the Flag Act of 1777, and has red stripes outermost and stars arranged in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, so there were 13 states at the time. Oh, here we go. The Betsy Ross flag is reconstructed early design for the flag of the United States, which is the conformant, I don't even know what that means, to a Flag Act of 1977, has red stripes outermost and stars arranged in a circle, which specified 13 alternating red and white horizontal stripes and 13 white stars. Betsy Ross was the upholsterer who made the flag. She was born in 1752 and died in 1836 of gonorrhea. I made that gonorrhea part up. All right. Let's see if there's any racist first flag symbolism. Okay. Stripes, stars, circle, colors, political, cultural significance. I don't see anything. Nope, nothing. Look at not even Wiki, which would love to, like, you know how they have a link on here like controversy or some. They got nothing. Oh, talk. What's this mean? Talk. All right. Yeah. So he said that shit wouldn't fly today. Well, good. You flunked history or I flunked history? I didn't even take history. Jeremy World, it's racist because they said so, dude. Right. Tomorrow, Greg Glassman's coming on. Phone lines will be open. All sorts of fun shit. He called me today and was telling me a funny story. Well, we had Trista, the CrossFit Games athlete, Trista Smith, this morning. So that's cool. Right? Oh, I got this thing. What's this? Portland. Oh shit! Oregon governor declares state of emergency in Portland over fentanyl crisis. February 1st, 2024. Oh, just now. The decision to call a state of emergency comes as the state faces increasing challenges related to drug overdoses. Holy shit! Listen to this. Despite Oregon being the first state to decriminalize drug use in 2020, and now they have a fentanyl crisis. Weird, right? Project Mythology. Anyone else notice that the Born Primitive YouTube page only gets 24 views per video? Wonder if they're shadow banned. It's hard. Well, here's the thing too. It's hard getting a YouTube station like going. I have friends who have like 100,000 subscribers, and every time they put out a video, they can only get 100 views. Like it's it ain't easy. I mean, look, we had Josh Emmett on today, and there's 76 of you watching. Like, what's wrong? He's dope. That was great. There was some life-changing shit in there. That dreaming shit's no joke. If you haven't seen that Dave Chappelle thing, all right. See you guys tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Have a good night.